Coming to you from DevNexus 2020 in Atlanta, Georgia, I'm Bob Rubart with the Oracle Groundbreakers team, and I'm here with Ken Kousen, one of the presenters here at this event. Ken, how you doing?
Oh, great. Thank you very much, Bob.
So where do you work, what do you do there, and what sort of trouble do you get into?
Well, I'm a solo person. My company is Kousen IT Incorporated, although my wife calls it Kousen It, you know. It was her idea. But I'm just a one-person company. I mostly teach software development training classes, so in areas related to Java, Spring, Android, you know, all that, and related topics like Groovy and Kotlin, things like that. I do a lot of teaching online, but I also go to client sites and teach classes there. I do some consulting, but the bulk of my schedule gets taken up by training classes.
And also by speaking at developer conferences. You have, I think, you were involved in the workshops yesterday, and I think you've got 2 sessions here. Can you kind of summarize those activities?
Sure. Yesterday I did a Kotlin workshop to bring people up to speed on the language and show them basically what you can do with it. Today I have a talk called Functional Programming in Kotlin, Groovy, and Java. So all three, because I actually have a book on all three, believe it or not. And then tomorrow I'm doing one called Kotlin Recipes. So unusual for me, but this year is a big Kotlin year, mostly because my current book is a Kotlin-related book.
And as it happens, you have a copy of that right there.
There you go. See, there's your nice little picture if you like.
And that's available wherever fine books are sold. And remember, books make great gifts.
That's a kinkajou, in case you're curious.
A kinkajou?
Yes. It's a mammal that small mammal, lives in the Amazonian rainforest or whatever.
Okay.
O'Reilly has a habit of putting endangered species on the cover, even though it's a little bit of a bold move to put an endangered species on the cover of a cookbook. You know, and actually I had a non-technical person look at this and say, well, is that a Kotlin? And you're talking about how to cook Kotlins? And it's like, no, that's not it. So...
Roasted Kotlin.
Yeah,
remember that.
Go for whatever. I mean, I should have just said tastes like chicken. You know, I don't know what else I could have said on that.
We were talking about the sessions that you presented here.
Sure.
If it's at all possible, can you sum all of those up into one key takeaway? If somebody went to all your workshop and the 2 sessions, what's the one thing you want them to remember?
Well, the Java ecosystem is very healthy and thriving, and while Java is still innovating as well, so are the alternative languages like Groovy and like Kotlin. Kotlin is becoming a dominant language in the Android space, but it can be used anywhere Java is used. And in fact, there's no reason you can't use all the languages together. Just do whatever the language does well. Use that language whenever you need to. So.
Well, and speaking of that environment, this year in May is Java's 25th anniversary. Tell me about how Java intersects with your career and what that means to you.
Well, it's funny. I was a career changer, like so many people in IT, and I came from the engineering world where my programming language was Fortran. So the nightmares have ended, but it took a long time. I used to think my middle name was off by 1 error. So I went directly from Fortran to Java, back on Java 1.0.6, I think was my first version. So I've been working with Java for, I guess you could say decades now. I got involved in the Groovy community around 2007, and I started working with Kotlin about 2-3 years ago. So I guess my whole career has been dominated by Java, just not necessarily directly, but both directly and indirectly throughout the whole time, and I don't see any reason that's going to change anytime soon.
Indeed, indeed. Well, Ken, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me, and hold that book up more and more time.
There you go, yeah.
Don't forget the roasted Kotlin.
Yeah, right.
Thank you for talking to me. Thank you for watching. I'm Bob Rubart with the Oracle Groundbreakers team. Stay tuned.